same thing for the third time in a row. Oof, it's rough.
I did forget that pre-stream was 5 minutes, so we're live. We're on.
No,
Oh.
that's
We
fine.
are
Ah!
available. Haha.
That's yeah.
Haha, yo,
I saw us appear over on the
Hey,
side
yo.
in my
Hey, yo.
second monitor, so I already knew.
Cool, cool,
Hey,
cool.
yo.
I thought you did it on purpose.
Here.
I'll be honest.
Sometimes I do. This time, truly just genuine. Yeah.
I kind of miss my old setup where I could like be late and like sprint comically in the background of my own camera.
Across the hallway. Yeah.
Can't do that with my current setup. There's no running. That's my bed. Like, it's not gonna happen.
Sprint
Yeah, you-
directly into the wall.
Yeah, you could run on top
I
of your bed.
could.
You're short enough.
Dude, I have launched myself, because it's a bunk bed, right? I've launched myself from bottom to top bunk. First time I did it, smacked my thighs right above my knees, full force into the bottom of the metal.
No.
Figured it out. I can do it successfully now, but I had big bruises for like 2 weeks because I like full body sent my legs into metal.
Ouch.
Oy.
I am a smart woman. I've got a college degree. Sometimes that doesn't matter. Sometimes you put a fork in the socket just to see what'll happen, you know?
When we get the chance,
That's called science.
When we get the chance, if we could send the announcement to the Discord, that would be much appreciated.
Eric, can you hear us or?
Eric.
I think he's at work.
Yeah,
That's
there it is.
well, he responded.
Wait,
right
yeah,
when he
hang on.
needed
How did
to.
he answer?
Because he knows by
Hang
now.
on.
He knows what we're gonna ask.
He knows what we're gonna ask.
He knows what you are thinking. He
That's
knows how
terrifying.
to read lips.
Oh
he
no!
knows if you are.
I
Ready
woke up in the
for
middle of the
stream.
night and Eric came down my chimney and I screamed.
Mm-hmm.
It was the last scream you ever uttered.
Or bad.
I was like, "Oh no, he's going to do good storytelling at me. Run!"
Oh no. Excellent. Well,
Yes.
I guess we could just go ahead and jump
could.
into announcements since everyone's here. Hi everyone. Welcome to Turntables RPG. You might be wondering, what's this old sad sack still being keeper again? And it's just how things worked out. So thank you for joining us. We are Turntables RPG. We're an experimental tabletop RPG stream where every player GMs and every GM plays. We take turns at the end of every mystery, switching out the GM and telling a long-form improvised story. Right now, we are on the 14th episode of the third season of Monster of the Week, which is, right, I think this is our 5th mystery of this season, which is a lot of fun in general. If you'd like to check out our previous mysteries and our previous seasons, all that information. Oh, thank you for subscribing, Alikra. Thank you. That's very kind of you. That's Kyle, right? Question mark. I believe so. I take back what I said so long ago about Kyle's.
Did we say we did say something about Kyle's, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Thank you for the subscription, much appreciated. If you'd like to check out our VODs for our previous seasons and our previous mysteries, please check out our YouTube. You can find us there, also at Turntables RPG. Speaking of places where you can find us, I believe Dustin also knows a lot of other places where you can find us. Dustin?
Well, I mean, I guess, give everybody's address out live on Twitch if you really want me to. Let's go ahead. I'm just kidding. I don't know anybody's address except maybe Saul. I don't know where you all live. Saul just sent me something in the mail at one point.
I did.
Anyways, yeah. All of our VODs are on YouTube. From Monster of the Week seasons 1 and 2, Uncharted Worlds Return OE, which is our spacefaring adventure run by Ostionaut or Eric in the chat, who can't hear us right now, so we're allowed to wait. Oh, okay.
Apparently everyone knows my address.
Eric also knows your address. Okay,
I don't know your
there it is.
address.
Well, I'll tell you right now, live on
Okay, thank
stream.
you.
I think I could
I'll
find
be
Saul's
over in a
address
few
because he
days.
sent me a package once.
I did.
so-
Yeah, he.
Oh, that
he
is
sent me
true.
some
I could have reversed engineered if I kept them packaged.
Okay. Anyway, Saul knows literally where I live. Saul knows where I sleep, so I'm not gonna cross Saul. He's seen my bed. Anyways, Follow us on social media at TurnTables RPG, wherever social media is sold, and join the Discord. What are you doing? Why aren't you in the Discord right now? Get in the Discord right now. Do it. I'm waiting.
We're gonna sit here until you join the Discord.
I'm waiting right now.
Mosh is not coming back till you join the Discord.
Yeah, I'm not going to continue on until Saul takes it away because he's next.
I'm waiting for people to join the Discord.
See, there it is.
No,
See?
I don't think anyone's just
There
gonna
it
join
is.
the Discord. I can't imagine anyone's in chat who's not joined the Discord.
I listen. All you got to do is click the link.
Oh, we found someone.
Oh, I knew who it was. I wasn't going to name names because I'm not that kind of person.
Wow.
But there was somebody I was waiting on. So
And I was
we can't just
behind
put
on chat.
people on
This is
blast
so
like
funny.
this.
okay, I didn't actually know for sure, gang. I'm just
We were just throwing that.
this is a
You
bit.
don't
I'm
have
just
to
we
join
did.
Discord, but it's funny there. And you
Yes.
We
should.
did
yes,
it. We
yes.
did
No,
it.
no.
This was the
you,
best
You
bit.
do have to.
This was the best bit. We did it. We succeeded in
Yeah,
our
we
task.
got someone. Yeah, now we can continue. Thank you so much. Hope you
Nice.
enjoy your stay.
Welcome
That was
to
a
hell.
close one.
Whew,
That
could
was
you
a close
imagine how
one.
long we could wait?
We'd be here for hours.
Quick, somebody go make a new Discord and,
Literally.
and
Oh,
join
that would
it.
have been good.
Fuck. Okay, I am next again because this other bit is also mine to tell. If you'd like to support our channel, please check out our Ko-fi, or consider supporting us here through Twitch. As with a lot of announcements today of Twitch and like these Discord updates and things of that nature, more and more the landscape keeps changing. Like Dustin said, follow us on social media to keep getting updates and things of that nature. The most important thing when it comes to support is that you're here or you're spreading the word. If you like support monetarily, that's also extraordinarily helpful. It's all helpful, and we really just appreciate you in general being here with us on these Tuesday nights. So all in all, every bit of support is much appreciated, and so are you. So thank you for being here with us, and thank you for your continued support. I will go ahead and put ! Ko-fi in chat. If Chris, who I also appreciate very greatly, could talk a little bit about Twitch Prime. You know it's going to be good when the music stops.
Guys, I'm sorry. My mom came to me and she said, you know, me and your dad watch on the big TV now. And we just think,
Oh,
we just don't understand why you feel like you have to do silly voices. And I was like, Mom, it's just who I am. It's just what I am. And she was like, please, can you just please do your little announcements without doing a voice or being silly. And I broke down crying, and I was like, oh my gosh. So anyway, you can subscribe with Twitch Prime. If you click the little chat, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can connect it to your Twitch account, and you click the little checkbox. You get 1 month free subscription.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought you were gonna play the Midwestern emo guitar music.
it's the silence to me.
No, not the guitar.
That is his normal voice. He just did it.
That's actually my
Yeah.
normal voice now.
Yeah, you were using a voice mod before. You actually sound like Alvin the chipmunk.
All of the time.
Anyway, subscribe with Twitch Prime.
Excellent. Thank you.
I think it would be funny. God, my Wi-Fi is really bad today. I think it would be really funny if one day you got your mom to do the bit, like you recorded her doing the bit, and you
No,
were
this
like,
is her
"My
bedtime.
mom
She
said."
goes right to sleep right after this. It would be
Well,
funny.
you gotta pre-record it that way.
Oh, okay.
Then you don't have to like make her get on camera or on mic or anything.
Oh, she looks like she might be into that. Yeah.
Ooh,
She's
okay.
into it.
All right.
There we go.
Okay, we'll move on.
Well, now we
now Chris wants to move on.
No, now
We're moving on now. We're moving on. The bit's done. The bit's over, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Yes, this will propel you to stardom.
Yeah, this is the big league.
The agents watch this channel for sure.
Oh yeah.
What kind of agent? You probably don't want to know.
No, but seriously, it would actually be really, really fun if
I agree.
But
But not right now. But not right now. We'll do it later. We'll do it next
We
week.
suddenly hear like footsteps on the stairs coming through Chris's mic.
That's my worry. That's my concern. Don't put a cat with sunglasses. That's funny. Where'd you get that? Who gave that to you?
Which Twitch is that from?
That's probably just one of the normal emotes. Yeah, Twitch
Yeah,
global
Twitch
emotes.
global.
Anyway, Mars, please speak.
I'm speaking now. Along with those updates, we want to give a shout out to Patrick Costa. He drew the artwork that you see on our overlay, along with the full art designs that you might have caught during the pre-stream. If you did not catch it then, don't worry, you'll see them again during the break. You can follow him on Instagram or Twitter at PCInc_. You should do that because it's good. It's good art. Good art.
You're good art. Got him.
Got him.
We'll talk more about Mars's good art in a little bit, but first,
Later.
we would like to shout out Patrick. Nope, we would, in addition to shouting out Patrick, my reading comprehension bad, okay? We would like to also shout out the homebrew playbooks and their creators that we have used or are still using. I am currently playing The Tracker, a playbook by Mike Keck, and Saul last season was using The Amnesiac by Jason Burns. You can find their respective links in the chat, and you can also follow Jason Burns on Twitter. His handle is JabManB. In addition to shouting out some other creators, I'd like to hear a little bit more about a channel called The Hallowed Expanse. Saul, could you tell me about that?
Never heard of it.
What? You haven't heard of the Hallowed Expanse? That's so strange since I plug it every week.
I was gonna make that joke.
Um,
Dustin turns off his brain every week.
No, I mute you guys during announcements. I thought you needed.
No.
Oh wow.
He's the exact opposite of my mother. He only watches the RP and not the announcements.
The truth comes out. Very quickly, we want to plug friends of the channel, the Hallowed Expanse. They stream on our friend Aurelia's channel, twitch.tv/Aurelia with a 3. The link should be in chat. Normally, we stream on Sundays at 1 p.m. Central Time. It's where we just started a new chapter and introduced a new character. It's where I currently play a tiefling monk who does fushigi, if you remember those strange commercials from the mid-2000s. And it's a lot of fun, so please come check it out if you'd like. We should be streaming this upcoming Sunday, so come over and have some fun with us. With that in mind, speaking of really great Twitch channels, I'd like to pass it off to the handsome devil right here above me, Dustin.
No.
No,
I disagree.
I've been thrown off. I've been confused.
Let's talk about another handsome devil, Mars.
Oh, Mars, I'm sorry. Well, yes.
That's okay. I do
It still works.
works.
lesbians. That didn't come out right.
No way. Whoa, what?
There's no wrong way to
Well-
come out. Happy Pride Month, okay?
Let's go.
I do lesbians in that way as well. I am currently a part of not only a part of, but GMing a Thirsty Sword Lesbians roller derby campaign on twitch.tv/ttrpg. It was supposed to start last week, but we had some issues, so it's starting next week. So if you haven't started, I don't know where I was going with that. If you were worried about missing an episode, you didn't. It starts next Monday, June 12th at twitch.tv/ttrpg with an underscore at the end.
In fact, they were waiting on you. You were the one they were waiting on.
We knew you couldn't make last episode, so they pushed it back.
That's right.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
for clarification for chat, just to be clear, TEATRPG by itself on Twitch. On Twitter, there's an underscore.
On Twitter,
after
they
it.
have an underscore.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Now we will be passing it off to in some direction. I
One
think he's
direction.
next.
One
He's, like,
direction.
up-
It's
We will be passing it up to One Direction.
That's
One
right.
Oh my God,
Direction here.
that's right.
Zane.
Take it away.
We got Harry Styles. Let's go.
We got Harry Styles. Harry Styles coming in. I mean, I definitely am
Hello,
Harry
I'm
and have
Harry
a certain
Styles.
style.
I dress
Yeah, hello.
flamboyantly, but I seem to hate it. I don't know why.
I stream on Twitch. I stream on Twitch on twitch.tv/Valley6. I'll be streaming tomorrow. The Space Genshin's coming out with a new update, so I'll be streaming that for a little
No
bit.
way.
But I've been streaming Pokemon mostly recently. But I am currently trying to raise some money for my trip to Zeldathon come next month. A month from today is when it starts, actually, which means I have very little time to raise money to go. But I have a GoFundMe going, and to help me to go. Zeldathon itself is a charity marathon right here on Twitch, twitch.tv/Zeldathon, where we raise money for this time. It will be for Charity Water, where we'll be raising money to help get water to places that just don't have it. Which is wild when you think about the kind of world we live in, that there are still people out there who just don't have clean water. But this charity is all about making sure people get that drinking water that you quite literally need to survive. We will be playing through Zelda games, a lot of them, nothing but Zelda games for a week straight. So from July 6th through the 14th, we will be going hard. 13th. 14th is the day I leave from there, hopefully. But yeah, and again, I have a GoFundMe raising money. The GoFundMe, just as to be as transparent as possible, I think it's actually there. It is to help me go to Zeldathon. If you only have enough money to give to a charity or give to me, give to a charity, please, and thank you. The people out there need things more than I need to meet with my friends, because I can always hopefully save up and go next time. But anyways. And that's me. Let's stop talking about me for 2.5 seconds. We can talk more about me later because I know I'm super cool. But let's talk about another super cool person, Aaron.
Oh.
Aaron, come on out.
Come on
Come
out.
on out.
Let's go. Where is she? Where'd she go? She said she'd come back. Anyway, yeah, so it's me. Hi, it's me. I know. I do art. Big, quick, and dirty of it. I don't know why I said that. Yeah. You can look at my art on my portfolio, or you can commission me for a piece, or you can buy my art pieces on several different products through Redbubble, TeePublic, and Imprint if you would like something specific about that. Also, obviously, we have, the Antics of Roy Troy and the Adventures of Roy Troy books written by my grandmother and illustrated by me. And also, of course, Turntables exclusive has not been officially announced yet. We do also have the Prime Time of Roy Troy available to purchase right now on Amazon on paperback and Kindle.
No.
So you guys can be the first person. One of you can be the first person to buy this. This isn't the print copy book, so it doesn't have this gray line over it. But and this is not the final one because I had to do edits on this. But you can own this. You can own this book and find out why. What's up with these squirrels? Because they were written by my grandmother based off of her childhood life on a very small farm. That she grew up on, and so the squirrels are based off of her twin brothers, and so this, you can get this book about why is this geese so mad, figure it out, read the book, and you can figure that out.
Very fun.
My grandmother would not want. I'm never gonna tell my grandmother about this situation. I could not even. Also, clarification: my grandmother is a pastor's wife. My grandfather
What are you
is a
talking
reverend
about? We
minister.
love the Lord here.
I do not
This
need
is
them
a
knowing
cringe.
anything about this. I just tell her, oh yeah, I tell my friends about the book. Then this is what I mean.
Chris, you make. I understand your grandmother also probably has an email address, though, right? Because that's the way that you are sending these files to her.
Yeah, well, if you buy the book, there's an email address in the book.
So we
for
could
some
send
reason.
clips from this Twitch channel.
You totally
through
could,
that
and I
email.
would, and you would ruin my life, and you would ruin my life. Yeah, please do not send any clips of me to my elderly 85 or 84-year-old Christian grandmother.
I want to send specifically the clip from the Meta Human Uprising where you're like, "Have you ever heard of vehicular manslaughter?"
Hey kids, have you ever heard of vehicular manslaughter?
Awful.
That hurts my throat listening to you do that.
It's not. I mean, it's weirdly gotten easier. But you know, so get ready. Full season of Fleshcar.
Nope. Listen, I'm taking a season off, you guys.
No. Anyway, yeah.
We'll talk
so
about it.
talking about things that are not cursed and art you would want to show to your grandmother,
Good transition.
Mars.
Yep, I'm gonna tell my grandmother I kiss cryptids. She
Yeah,
would.
get this for
Yeah.
Chris's
She'd be into
grandma.
it.
If your grandma kisses cryptids, buy her a patch about it. I have an Etsy store with Mothman things and cryptid things and stuff. You can buy things, purchase wares. I'm just a little guy on the side of the road selling my silly little patches. Please buy them.
Link is in chat.
Link is in chat.
The Etsy store is Frog Who
Link?
Arts.
From
Yes.
Tears of the Kingdom?
Oh
Tears
my
of the
God.
Kingdom link?
Link is rating us with.
I like that saxophone.
Yeah, that saxophone's epic. I believe that's.
I
The,
was like, I didn't know music could sound like this. That's crazy.
I believe that's the end of the announcements. We do the affirmations after the announcements before we jump into the intro. And
We should come up with like a name for this.
that's actually
the
what I was
segment.
just about to bring up. I have brought an offering to the cast of a possible
Okay.
name for this. I wanted to get y'all's live reactions.
I'm Simon Cowell, and you are a little girl with a puppet, and I shall judge you.
Correct.
Oh my god.
that means
the
you
X button
win.
has already been pressed.
So
That was a thing. Like it was a little girl with a puppet. And I think she won a season. I don't know. I never
She
watched
did.
American
She won
Idol
the
or whatever the
season.
hell.
That's the only one I know. She won the season.
if this doesn't work, or like if this one doesn't pass the panel, I will return next week with another name that y'all will.
You will come back. You see, I'm
Correct.
gonna turn you down just because I know you can come back stronger.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay.
Next
so,
season, you've got this in the bag. I believe in you.
Here's my pitch for this segment's title. Tender Tables.
Okay, that was it.
That's it.
Okay, I like Tender Tables.
It has
Tender
to be in
tales.
the voice that Saul did. Tender tables.
The the pre-kinder teacher voice.
Tender tables. Wait. Tender tables.
Oh, thanks for subscribing again, Womakin. Let's see it. 27 months. 27 months.
Hot
of
day.
Yo.
Oh man,
Aw.
and gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you
Yo.
so much.
Thank
Oh
you.
my God.
Thanks,
Goodness.
Chris.
The people are too nice.
People
How dare
are
you?
extraordinarily kind.
Enjoyed the gym.
Yes, have a great time at the gym. Thank you so much.
Get
for
those
jumping
gains
in.
while you listen to our sultry tones. I know if I heard my voice, it would motivate me to go to the gym. That's a lie because I hear my voice every day.
I was
and I
like,
don't
if you
go to the
heard
gym.
your voice? Yeah, I mean, if I started hearing my voice speak to me, I would be concerned. Like,
Look at me, Womack, and know what not to be, and then that shall motivate you. Anyway, positive things. Tender tables, as they
Correct.
say. I feel like now that you've said it, I think it can't be anything else.
No, I mean it could totally be something else. It's just that
No, it's too late. It's in my mind. I've already associated it.
we'll run it for this specific session. We'll
And
run
if we're
it.
like we don't like how tender these tables are.
Correct.
Do
switch
you-
it up.
These tables are tough.
It'll be the working title for now.
I'm really chewing on this table right now.
That's the other part, is like it has another meaning that is food related, which is very funny
That's
in
good.
its own way. The way we usually do this is we roll a d6 and we determine who's going first, and then that person kind of sets the tone for the kinds of affirmations that we give out for the rest of the time, and then we circle around the five of us. And then we move on to emotional damage. So, with that in mind, I guess we can go ahead and roll the d6. Dustin, you got a 3?
I got a 6.
6? 3?
I got a 3.
4.
4? I got a 1.
Well,
I'm gonna Chris.
Well.
You're gonna go first this time because you got the
Well.
6. So pick
I guess
somebody.
I'm going first.
Pick somebody to
Well.
send an affirmation.
I
to.
think the only person I have not complimented yet to any extent would be that of this handsome gentleman, Dustin. Hello, Dustin. How are you? Hey, how's it going?
How's it going?
Yeah,
How you doing?
Dustin. I think you're such a kind person and a kind soul, and you're very and it's so motivating to see you do like your Twitch stream stuff and like really commit to it. And you just have a very positive presence, and I never feel scared or worried hearing your opinion on something, or if I feel very comfortable coming to you and being like, can I have your opinion on this? Because you never come, you have a very great talent of giving criticism in the most like kind and gentle way possible, which is a really hard thing that I personally struggle with. And so I find that very admirable.
Thank you. That means a lot. I tried to be like that just because I don't know. I like people coming to me for criticism, which sounds weird, but I don't know. Anyway, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay, well, that leaves me next, and I believe that I have complimented everyone here so far. So that just means that I get to choose someone for another time, an extra time. And I will choose. I keep looking at my dice thinking I should roll the die, but I'm not gonna roll the die. And I'm gonna choose Masha because she was trying to hide from me.
Oh no. Oh, it's just like
Uh,
school.
It is like school, yeah. It is very much like school, so I'm gonna choose you, and try to keep it with the same vibe of genuine, but not like drive you to tears. I think that was a very good vibe that Chris set as the precedent for this particular compliment. Tinder tables, excuse me, for this particular Tinder tables. So let's see.
How tender is your table? Leave a comment below.
All right. So, Masha, you are, despite what you would probably say about yourself, are a very hard worker. And, like, knowing everything that you have on your plate, like, in your life that I know of that may not necessarily, come out in public on stream, and know that you still, take time to create like this, the way that you do, and the way that you can balance that the work life alongside of this, and honestly still feeling like if someone were to message in general chat tomorrow saying I'm devastated and I need someone to talk to, you would be the one to show up. Like before just about anybody else, you would be there in voice chat saying, let's talk. And I think that is something that I think the chat needs to know, honestly, that, I really appreciate that. And I feel like you were just someone that I can depend on, that might work herself a little too hard sometimes. Um, yeah, but I don't know. I feel like I could depend on you to be there if I needed you in the moment for sure. Sometimes even without you even realizing you being in the right place at the right time, just sending a random message on Discord, sending I don't know some nerd a free 2 weeks on of Discord Nitro out of absolutely nowhere whenever they're kind of feeling down for the night without you even realizing it. So I don't know. I just appreciate you being so dependable, and I don't know. Uh, there you go. I'm trying not to repeat myself with these compliments. So you take that.
Well, thank you. That is very, very sweet and kind. Um, Dang. Now I gotta flip it on someone else? How am I supposed to do that?
Flip these tables.
Flip these tables. Flip them.
Flip these tender tables.
Flip these tender tables.
A tender flip.
Yeah. I think I'm going to compliment Mars. Because I've been a friend of mine is teaching me how to play Magic the Gathering, which God help me, I have a lot of fun with that. It's too late for me, everybody. Please send help. Don't do it, Saul. Get out of here.
No.
And
They're too powerful.
Mars is someone that I have played some card games with, including Yu-Gi-Oh! When Eric taught us how to play at Gen Con 2021. This is a lead up to a compliment, by the way. I'm not just like telling a useless story, I swear. And I remember Mars just having this like knack for the game, and like really diving into Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think now really diving into Magic and like really diving into that kind of thing. So my compliment for Mars is like when they get interested in something and are good at something, they foster it really hardcore. And I don't know that I see a lot of people like put so much passion into new pursuits in the same way that Mars does, and I love seeing it happen. Because they're so like they make art for it or they're talking about it constantly, and I get to hear like how many hours of whatever like online Yu-Gi-Oh game there is that they played. And there was one time that I think it was just like Mars and Chris playing Yu-Gi-Oh against each other on a stream a few months ago, and like having the time of their lives, and I was watching like, oh my god, like I could never participate. Y'all are too good at this. So I just think that's really cool to just like watch a friend discover a new hobby and interest and like really pour themselves into it. It's just like awesome to see that spark.
I can't think of a like way to properly accept this compliment, so I'm just going to say I have ADHD and get really bad hyperfixations. So that's why I do that. But it means a lot knowing that is a positive thing, because sometimes it does not always feel like a positive thing. And I am here to compliment Saul. Saul, what's a good compliment? There are so many good compliments, but again, I'm trying not to like repeat myself or something that someone else has said. You're just like a genuinely really cool person. Like you have a lot of cool interests and like you do a lot of things that I think are really interesting. Like Magic and like this whole turntables thing was sort of your brainchild, and the idea that like you just have this personality where you're like, I can't wait to get like know more, and I can't wait to like hang out with you, and like that always really has stuck out to me, that you're just like a cool person to be around. You just make everything feel like happy and positive and safe, and that is really special. And I think you are so uniquely suited to that. You are so like it just feel or it appears to see it appears to be just like effortless that you are, but not in the like I'm giving no effort. It just it comes naturally to you. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's really neat.
Thanks, friend. I really appreciate you saying that. Thank you. It's very kind. And now I get to round out the circle and compliment Chris. Chris, we chatted this weekend, and I can't tell you like how I think we ended up talking for like over 2 hours, somewhere around those lines, and I think there is something so fun and like what's the not like rejuvenating or regenerating, there's something very like replenishing, I guess I'll go say, of like speaking to you about creative things, whether it's like we're talking about the most recent Spider-Man movie, or we're talking about like Philip's place in this story, or things of that nature, or like future ideas for different streams and like for different shows and things of that nature. There's something about the way your mind works that I just enjoy, like being in the presence of, and the being in conversation with. Like it's such a wonderful gift to have, and I think you have it in abundance. And it's something that we all saw at the very beginning when we did the interviews for this stream. I remember because unfortunately I think for your specific interview several people like called out, and so like you were the only one, and I had to ask Eric to come in and like play alongside you. And I remember when we sat down and we were going through the candidates, you and Mars were the youngest of them all, but I remember we were talking about you specifically, and I was like, this kid's mind, man, it's so fast. Like it's so fast with the jokes. It's so, the comedic timing is impeccable, and the creativity is there, you know. And it's something that has been just wonderful to see you grow in these past couple of years, and just kind of like be able to hone that skill to a very fine edge as a keeper and as a player. And I just really enjoy talking with you, man. And so I thank you for your words and your time and your spirit and your presence. I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And then real fast, we also quickly want to shout out the friends who are not with us on stream right now. Eric, we love you a lot, man. We hope that work is going okay. I got to hang out with him this past weekend, and what a wonderful time it was. Like everyone here has gotten a chance to hang out with Eric in some way, shape, or form. And he's
Not
just
me.
well, you've got to hang out with him on chat with him on video chat as well. We will
Yes.
rectify that in the future, however. And either way, whether
Just
it's
give me a
virtually
date. Just give me a date.
whether it's virtually or in person, Eric is just he's such a wonderful person to spend time with in general. It's just he's patient, he listens, and like he also just kind of is a generator of empathy. So I always really appreciate the time that we can have with him.
And of course, Dez, the
Yes.
Animorphs expert.
Correct.
Yeah.
Always in our hearts and minds, as he is just a cool guy. I don't know. He's just always a cool guy.
Let me tell you. So I've known Des since he was in my freshman dorm of college, and we taught him how to play Magic the Gathering since we brought it up earlier. And he has not, I don't believe he's played it since this game, but he got into this extraordinarily heated debate about why a creature who was like a giant within the creature type of the game could not block a flying creature who had the mechanic of flying. Right, and so within Magic the Gathering, if a creature attacks with the mechanic of flying, you can only block with creatures who have flying or reach. And so he was like, but my creature's a giant. He stands like 3 stories tall. He should be able to swat down this goddamn bird. And to this day, it's one of the funniest like it went on for 20 minutes. I feel we're just sitting in the lobby of this dorm, arguing about the fly mechanic in Magic the Gathering. All that to say, Dez, I love you, my guy. We should hang out soon. But yes, Dez is also love him a lot, and also has a wonderful presence and great humor as well. The reason we started this specifically, just to give some context, is just to life is very short, and we should say the things that we want to say to the people that we love and the people that we care for. And sometimes it's hard, and sometimes it's scary, and sometimes it's difficult, but like the more we do it, the more comfortable we'll become with it. And we hope that y'all feel the same. So if y'all get the chance, even if it's weird or cringe, send that person a little affirmation. Let them know that you're thinking about them, or that you appreciate them for some reason or another.
Tender their tables.
Reach
out to someone and tender their table.
That's actually, it's so funny because within like actual cooking, to tender something, you get the tenderizer and you like smash it in order to make it very soft.
Yeah.
Bash someone over the head, tenderize them.
Yes, please tenderize them with love. Fun stuff. Okay, well, I appreciate y'all letting us get a little sappy. We're going to jump into the intro now. It's going to be a very, very drastic vibe change.
It always
is.
I
do apologize ahead of time. We contain multitudes within us, and they all can exist at the same time. So, Chris, whenever you're ready, let me know.
Yep.
Just real quick, also to give kind of like credit, this is Classic Horror #1 by Kevin MacLeod, which our players actually will recognize because we've used it in the past as well, and it's a nice little callback. All right. Let me wipe the smile from my face.
Uh-oh. You gave it to me, but it's a nervous smile. Thank you.
Stop. It's not making me happy, guys. Gone. Okay.
If we make him happy, he won't kill us. Giggle, giggle, giggle. Hoo, jingle.
Quick, distract him.
Sorry.
Jingle jangle.
I'm gonna take a sip.
Jingle jangle back rooms.
Hey, look at the pretty colors.
Yay.
Okay. We begin in an expanse of white. The only sensation we experience is the incessant hum of electricity. As the camera pulls away and our eyes adjust, we realize the expanse of white is the stark light emanating from a fluorescent bathroom fixture. Oftentimes, when we step inside of hotel bathrooms for the first time, there is a chill, whether from the frigid air conditioning or the distinct echo of sterilization. Within that sharp, phantom echo, we find Jamie Foster. Hunched over, both hands on either side of the sink, staring at himself in the mirror. Water droplets drip onto the floor from his white-knuckled hands as we follow the pattern of splattered water past his shirt's drenched collar to his slightly flush face. The stark, cold light from the bathroom fixture illuminates the haggard lines etched across the young man's face. The 5 o'clock shadow covering the bottom half of his face seems almost like a bruise in this light. His pores magnified in painful detail as translucent droplets of water drip down his skin. Zzz. His eyes flicker down to the phone sitting precariously on the edge of the sink. The message reads, "Jay, I wanted you to know that we made it to my parents' place okay. I know this isn't the way you wanted us to get through this, but I really hope you join us." A muscle in Jamie's jaw tightens and his eye twitches. His breath is heavy and his hand slowly moves to pick up the phone. Bzzz. His hand stops. The new message reads, "Also, can you call the insurance company tomorrow? They're asking a lot of questions I don't have answers for." The relative silence is broken by a sharp inhale as Jamie closes his eyes and pinches the bridge of his nose. Poor Jamie. Jamie slowly opens his eyes and stares into the mirror in front of him. His reflection smiles back with bloodshot eyes. How long are you willing to be your own martyr? Jamie shakes his head, and his reflection slams its hand on the glass, its bloodshot eyes reddening gradually. You know who's to blame for all this. She who took everything from you, both in the past and in the present. The reflection picks up the phone and picks up the phone on its side and shows it in the reflection. The reversed message apparent to Jamie, who funnily enough can read it. The messages read, "I'm taking the kids. Don't contact us anymore. My lawyer will be in touch from now on." The second message, "I'm sorry, Mr. Foster. Without the proper documentation and evidence of foul play, I'm afraid there's nothing we can do for you concerning the damage to your property." The reflection hisses. Are you going to let her take away your future too? Jamie's face trembles as he begins to breathe heavily, staring at the mirror. Shaking breaths escape his lungs as his arms begin to shake. The reflection's eyes have pooled so much blood that rivulets are beginning to streak down its cheeks. It puts its second hand on the mirror, this time more gently. Jamie stares at the two hands for a moment before placing both of his hands on the mirror as well. An image takes hold, a memory of a snowy morning over 20 years ago. A rhythmic metal squeak cuts through the early morning silence. Jamie sits on a swing, bundled up in a heavy winter jacket and pants, a scarf hanging loosely on his shoulders, the tassels of which point down to the boots covered in slowly melting snow. He sniffles and runs a sleeve across his nose as the swing he sits on slowly moves back and forth. A young adolescent, his eyes are red, not bloodshot from anger, worn from tears that refuse to be held in. The sun slowly begins to crest on the horizon when the second swing beside him squeaks from an unknown weight. Jamie turns to his left and sees Miss Merrill, bundled up as well, exhaling a shaky breath visibly apparent in the cold air. She pointedly stares, with her working eyes, at the sunrise as she speaks. Your mom's worried about you, Jamie. Jamie's bottom lip trembles and he turns away, staring defiantly into the rising sun. I thought maybe... Jamie's voice begins to shake, so he stops speaking. Your mom told me. He used to bring you here when you were a kid. Jamie's face scrunches up with emotion, tears threatening to spill as he nods once. Miss Merrill's gloved hand reaches out and grips his reassuringly. You'll be okay, Jamie. Jamie launches from the swing. Miss Merrill rises to meet him as he buries his face into her shoulder, sobbing. The memory burns away to show a sobbing Jamie, clinging onto his father's failing body as the man wraps his hands around Jamie's throat and screams, "You could have found me!" He roars. Jamie roars at the mirror and begins to smash his hand into it over and over and over. The glass shatters and lacerates his hand as the bathroom becomes more and more viscerally tainted with splatters of blood. Jamie blinks and exhales slowly, staring at the unbroken mirror before him. Horribly bruised eyes stare back at him, so red they've turned nearly purple. Bzzz. His eyelids wince slightly as he looks down at his phone. This time, the message is from an unknown number. The message reads, "Hey, is this Jamie Foster? I'm really sorry to message you like this, but I need help, and your Pratt members told me to try this number." Jamie Foster looks at himself in the mirror and breathes a shaky, calming breath before slowly raising a pair of reflective sunglasses over his eyes. He works his jaw, shakes some water out of his left ear before grabbing the phone and hitting the call button. He walks out of the bathroom, and the camera stays on the mirror as we hear his voice from outside of the room speak. "Hey, bud. No apologies, okay? Uh-huh. Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, of course, I can help with that. Right, yeah, listen, since I'm helping you out, you wouldn't mind helping me, right?" Welcome to Monster of the Week.
Wasn't running for mayor until the meeting happened.
Until the worms.
We're back. It's okay. We're not.
Okay,
gonna
his name
jump
was
straight
Frank.
into it. Chris, you can stop the music.
Okay.
Thank you for doing that.
Put on something happy.
You could probably set it on like, yeah, that works. Yeah, for sure. What fun! I typed that out earlier today, and I wasn't sure how it was gonna go, but it worked.
It went
out
well.
pretty
It went well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Always.
I was
a
like,
pleasure.
"What's going on? What's crazy? This is crazy.
Very crazy.
This guy, dude, this guy's crazy."
Before we're gonna give Masha a minute to get back onto stream.
Oh, we have a Masha running in moment.
We do.
Welcome.
That's okay.
You know how you were
came in.
saying you
You're
missed
good.
being able to run into stream?
Oh no, did I miss it? Am I just in frame?
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
mean we're live. It was only like a minute. It was less than a minute. Oh, and you're frozen. Oh, no, you're good.
No, I think my
Yeah,
show-
my Wi-Fi is really spotty today, so I'm gonna do
We'll
my
work it
best.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no worries.
Anyway,
So, players, I have a couple updates for y'all, and
Uh-oh.
they're going to lead to where we start and how
my
we
subscription
kind
is
of-
updated.
How we kind of
The
move
terms of
forward.
service.
So, it has been a few days since the end of Masha's Mystery, where
A week.
it's been an ambiguous amount of time since
These monsters and their weekly bases.
There are certain things that we need to know that like are fact, and we will treat them as fact and as reality moving forward. First things first, Miss Merrill's shop has been told, therefore, and is currently boarded up. Within the past couple of days, with the help of Sheriff Lester and yourselves, Miss Merrill has relocated to a secondary location, which you may be familiar with if you remember the abandoned ranger station from Masha's Mystery in season 2.
Who put Miss Merrill in the woods? Who put her there? Don't do that. What the fuck? Okay.
The one where we
Excuse
locked
me.
the police in the basement and then instantly decided maybe that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Correct. That is where HQ for Miss Merrill is now.
Cool.
In that same vein, the corpse and leftover tree body of Daniel Foster was carried away by Sheriff Lester to said ranger station for further inspection. Secondly, Cole Van Helsing's Cole Van Helsing has been totaled and wrecked pretty bad. So right now it is out of commission, not able to be used, but it is at a
Auto shop.
yes, thank you, auto shop. For some reason, only the Spanish word was coming up in my head, and so
I mean, that would have been cool.
they are at un taller, but yes, an auto shop, and currently just that is where you will find the van, and you can get updates on.
Can we get Miss Merrill's old dinky car that we borrowed?
With that in mind, your current mode of transportation is Miss Merrill's dinky car that you borrowed that one time.
Yeah, let's go.
It is very shitty and obviously not as good as Cole Van Helsing's Cole Van Helsing. Trying to think if there was anything else that was. Nope, that's it. Those are all the updates from my end. So with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and start the mystery with the autopsy of Daniel Foster. You all find yourselves at the ranger station with the darkening skies above. With the darkened skies above, it is hard to tell really what time it is. Your watches say like about 11 a.m. It looks as though it is like 9 p.m. at night. So right now there is a bonfire, several kind of like tiki torches, and then also the yellow stained outdoor light of this ranger station. Everything's been turned on. You have a good amount of visibility within the space of the ranger station. Daniel Foster's body has been the human body is indoors on a table that has been laid out with kind of like a tarp essentially to keep things relatively clean. The tree, however, is too large to fit through the door, so it is sitting outside, strewn kind of on the ground for It's a very weird kind of like barbecue cookout situation where Miss Merrill's kind of like on a rocking chair holding her cane, like a cup of tea and maybe like a cup of wine as well, probably on the table next to her. And then Sheriff Lester is kind of like sitting on the bed of his truck, has a half drunk beer kind of like in his hand. And the rest of you, everyone else is here. Arthur, having sustained grievous wounds in the last mystery, is upstairs in one of the rooms of the ranger station, currently in bed, bandaged up. So that is where we start the scene. Y'all are free to roleplay with anyone or roleplay with each other or kind of set whatever you'd like up, but we start here within the ranger station. And for the clarity of like woods wise, it is within the woods. It's just not as deep as definitely the Fogwell is, or as you've gone before. It's definitely one of those areas that still has trails that lead out in order to be able to go around the park and like to go through various trails and things of that nature. So it is still within an accessible location that's not too deep within the forest.
I realized this music might be a little too much for investigate the dead body.
Good call.
Boo, boo, doo, boo, boo, ba, ba, ba. There you
Nice.
go. Fig would definitely want to take a closer look at both Daniel Foster's body and the tree.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if that would be like two separate roles.
I would probably say, is there something that you're specifically looking for with either of them? Because that could determine what role goes into it.
Can you repeat that? My internet cut out.
No, you're
Sorry.
fine. I was gonna ask, is there something in specific that Fig is looking for on either body? Because that could determine which roles go for which.
I think that, Fig didn't even know this was happening, and so the first time hold on. The first time that she saw the monster was when it
Showed up in front of the shop.
Yeah. I think that she is not magically oriented. I think she's going to look at it and see what maybe was the ultimate cause of death and see if she can garner how the two were connected. I don't know. I think Fig just wants to look at it and just be grossed out for a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's definitely fair. Let's do a sharp roll, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And then we'll kind of based on what you kind of have already specified, we'll kind of figure out.
Big money, no whammies. My dice fell on the floor, but it landed uncocked. So 8 plus my 3 sharp is 11.
Yeah, absolutely.
God, I can do math.
No.
Yeah.
So for sure, I think when inspecting Daniel Foster's human body, right, the cause of death specifically is lack of strength. So as you are kind of observing the body, if that makes sense, you for sure see his legs, his arms, the muscles in his body have atrophied after years of disuse, of being trapped within this tree. And so it was one of those things that once he was freed, his and his body had essentially kind of been sprung back into normal function. The shock of that, his heart, which had been weakened in that time and slowed, just could not take it, and it was essentially just the shock that sent his body into flatline. And so the cause of death, again, just kind of being within this dormant state and being sprung out so hastily and kind of without proper care, essentially. Like the more than likely there was probably a way to kind of like transition him out in a way that would have been safe, but the way that was done just was not the case, for at least like preserving his life in general. For separating him, obviously it worked. With the tree itself, most of the damage, even though you can see the severe gashes within the bark from all the attacks that it sustained within the house and outside of the shop, it is clear that this tree was hit with a massive object at an incredible amount of speed. Like the trunk itself has somewhat been like splintered inward, like the bark is like cracked and things of that nature. Like there is a part of the trunk that is still intact with a couple like shatter lines and things of that nature, and then the top of the trunk is just completely like concave, like in pieces on the ground. Like you can tell that it was like that it was hit by the van as it was rolling, and just kind of like, you know, just smashed into it. And it's like metal versus wood, and like a kind of like weird somewhat not hollow, but like there was something inside of it, you know. So it's like it's not necessarily completely solid in and of itself. So definitely with the tree, blunt force trauma, I guess, caused death. And then with Daniel Foster, it was just like the shock of being dormant and being thrust back into normal function too quickly. I will also note, as you are inspecting the tree itself, and kind of like you do see again those small little red crystals that you described in your mystery, and you can see that some of them have kind of like fused into the wood, giving it that deep red color throughout the bark and things of that nature, making it kind of like that red wood. And as you carefully kind of like, you don't touch the crystals, but as you kind of like stare at them and kind of like, you know, as you study them, you can see that they're almost kind of like, they have a very like almost like fragile texture to them, if that makes sense. Like when you look at something that's like made of like sugar glass or something on those lines, and you're kind of like, if I touch this, I feel like it's gonna break. That's kind of the vibe that you get from these crystals, for the ones that are still intact within the trunk.
Does the wood itself seem magical, or does it seem like it's just wood?
Is there a way that Fig would be kind of like testing for that?
No. Not really. Not safely.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, again, yeah, if there's not if Fig can't, if there's not like a specific way that Fig is testing for magical properties within it, then you could go with an assumption that, which is just like, this was wood that housed a human soul in it for over 20 years and has been affected by this outside source, the seed, as we now know it. So it's like, you know, you could probably guess that it does, but like without proper testing, you're not completely positive.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody kind of already knows what I just learned, but I would share with the group. There are weird noises happening in here, sorry.
Okay.
My oven's been turned on, so I think it's the creak of the metal.
Okay.
But my brain was just like,
No, I get it.
Is the oven
Movement.
supposed to be on?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Imagine if
The
it wasn't.
oven was
Moshma
on,
just being
and
super cool about it. She's like, "Oh, my oven just turned on for no reason." Anyway,
dude, that would be not great. Yeah, so my kind of follow-up question, and I suspect the answer to this is let's not. But I do have a move called Use the Whole Buffalo, where after killing a monster, I can craft the remains into something useful. Do I get the idea that I could turn any of this wood or even like utilize the crystals in any way, or does it seem like way too risky?
You can always try. Absolutely, you can always try. I will definitely say, depending on what Fig would want to make out, obviously you have the limitations of it's wood. So it's like so
Yeah.
you know there are specific things that you could make out of wood and use it as a weapon. I feel like if you want to try and use the buffalo, can you read what the roll would be, or like what the
Outcome?
yes, thank you, Dustin, thank you, the outcomes of
I
the
got
rolls
you.
are.
I missed the entire middle section of that.
No, I was just asking if you could tell me what use the whole buffalo does, like the outcomes for it.
Oh, gotcha. So it's a plus sharp roll to determine the quality of my work. I get, for each hold, I get to add a tag based on the creature that it came from. So,
Gotcha.
for example, ignore armor cold from a ghost
Gotcha.
would work. I don't know. I feel like it kind of doesn't work.
No, I would be
I
interested.
feel like working. I feel like Fig.
Listen, so this is how we'll run it. Is like if you want to do, if you want to use the whole buffalo, you can say like what Fig is crafting, and then we can figure out the tags later if you want. And like we can just all kind of like talk it out and be like, you know, this makes a little more sense, or all that kind of stuff. But if that's what you want Fig to do, it will probably take a little bit of time, so it makes a little bit of sense. But it's up to you whether or not you want to do it right now. Yeah.
I have an idea of what Fig would want to make. I don't know how useful it would ultimately be, and in fact, it could make things worse for us ultimately. But one of the base weapons is a trap.
Ooh.
And I feel like making a little snare out of like a thinner branch could be good. You know?
That's cool. I like that.
My concern is like if it's angie wood and someone gets trapped in it, they're just gonna be angie or.
I think I'll say,
not great.
are you trying to harvest like the wood that has the crystals within it, or are you trying to use more of like, are you trying to use more of like the clear spots within the wood to try and do so?
Well, Fig has no way of testing whether any of this wood is actually like still magical. So I don't know. I'm gonna think about it.
Okay, yeah, let me know.
Someone else go.
Is anyone else doing anything?
I can't really think of anything that Cole would want to find out from the body itself.
There is also Sheriff Lester to speak with, and Miss Merrill to speak with as well. They're both there.
Honestly, Cole's probably still apologizing to Miss Merrill. Like he's just been doing that this whole time.
You're kind of like, you're standing next to her apologizing, and she like,
All right.
she's like, Cole, I come to the woods for peace and quiet, okay? And you are annoying the fuck out of me. So I forgive you. Please stop talking. Thank
Sorry.
you. No. You ruined it. All right then.
Sorry.
And you see Sheriff Lester kind of calls out from the truck. I need to change glasses because I mean I can still see. I just it's the prop is for Miss Merrill specifically. So it actually really helps getting into character. You hear Sheriff Lester kind of call out to you and say, Cole, listen, there's been I know you're probably thinking about your van, but and checking up on it. If you decide to go back into town, you and your buddies need to be careful, okay? Word's been spreading about the accident and that it was your van, and about, you know, Daniel specifically. Lots of people are scared,
I've heard lots of word that some people are planning on leaving. They're so worried about everything that's going on. And there's a good bunch of people that are trying to keep them here. They're trying to keep them to stay, telling them that everything's gonna be okay. But that we gotta watch out for a pair of strange individuals, or a group of strange individuals. And he kind of like looks at you pointedly and looks at Fig picking at this magical wood pointedly, and looks at Philip T-posing pointedly. But he kind of like, he's telling you that it's, if you decide to go back into the town proper, it'll be interesting to keep an eye out.
Good. Sounds great. Well, how is everyone doing though? I mean, this stuff, and because if I'm not mistaken, there's still like a cloud of the seeds in the air, right?
Yeah, like it's definitely much more like when light does pierce through the cloud cover, there is kind of like this haze that some would just kind of like attribute to pollen, or maybe like a heat haze or things of that nature. But you all know that it is just kind of like those like very fine particles of seed in the air itself. And Sheriff Lester kind of like looks at you and he says, "You want to know how it is?" He picks up a walkie, and you notice that the walkie has been turned off. He turns it on, and there's just constant chatter through all the police officers. Like, they are responding to different locations across Fogwell, dealing with assaults, arguments amongst neighbors, like property damage, things of that nature. They are spread to like the fucking limit across Fogwell, dealing with all these like aggressive encounters. And he turns off the walkie, and he looks at you and he says, "Miss Merrill's shop getting bashed in. That's a domino I was hoping would never fall."
I see. And I think that Cole stands there for a moment and seems to ponder before squaring his shoulders, standing up a little straight, nodding, and then turning to leave.
Like to get in the car and leave, or just leave this conversation? Okay, cool. Right on.
We all just see Cole leave.
Well,
does he tell us where he's going?
For the sake of this, we'll say that Cole is like preparing to leave as we transition to either Philip or Ren for what y'all want to do in this time.
I think Philip did. I think, if it was like, oh, we're moving Miss Merrill, I think Philip would have also like grabbed any like books or anything or like articles or anything that Miss Merrill had about like history, or even if it's like, hey, Miss Merrill, I know you got unicorn's blood in your basement. Got any tasty, spicy reads in there as well of like magic and things?
Yeah. Do you want to ask Miss Merrill?
Sure. I mean, sure. I mean, I guess. Philip is just gonna go up and say, "Hey there, old lady. How are you? Are you doing good? You look lovely for your age."
I'm gonna assume you're Philip.
I go by. I don't. I would like to think so some days.
Right, okay.
I don't even know what that means, honestly. I'm sorry.
Listen here, young man.
You're such a charmer.
Cole tells me you're the sorcerer of the group.
I don't know what I am.
That's extraordinarily troublesome coming from the walking magical bomb.
Yep. Anyway, you got any cool books?
You mean like spell books?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember an old thing I used to be able to do, but it's kind of a little bit of a mess up here.
What do you mean something you remember you could do?
I don't know.
Got him.
Philip, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hey. You haven't been honest with me?
No. So, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh, damn.
Things are looking pretty shitty around here.
Yep.
And the last time things looked this shitty, or marginally this shitty, I had to use magic to fix it. I'm sure you can understand.
Yeah, I think that's sort of my big motivation, I guess.
Right. Now, as I understand it, in my current state, within Zorba County, Whitebridge, Swinehaven, here in Fogwell, there
Yeah, we don't talk about Swinehaven enough. It's sort of
We really
the
don't. It's
black
kinda
sheep
sad,
of the
actually.
family.
Within Zorba County, there is less than a handful of individuals who have the magical potential to possibly fix this whole situation. I couldn't do it without dying. And the other individuals I know are somewhat preoccupied. So when Cole tells me his buddy, I'm
His bestest
assuming,
buddy,
I'm
let's just
hoping
hold
I
on.
really am hoping you're wearing the frog hoodie, because this will make, if you weren't, this conversation would be much more awkward.
Well, you can't see me. I could be all naked, and it would only be messed up to external viewers.
I'm just gonna have to trust you, Philip.
It's
So,
okay, I'm not. I'm terrified of my body.
I understand the feeling. Now, we need to talk. Because if you are the strongest magic user in Zorba County at the moment, and you're talking to me about your current mental state being fucked, then you and I, we're gonna have to have a little chat, a little sit down.
We're having a chat right now.
I'm talking about a bigger chat.
Oh no.
You told me.
I know all about the birds and bees.
Trust me, Philip, there's nothing I do not want to talk to you about less than the birds and the
It's
bees.
okay.
The-
Sorry, my mind's a little bit all over the place.
You're telling me.
My name is Philip.
You told me a couple days ago that you've been to the Fogwell.
Oh yeah, the captain is very, I talk to a lot of people in the woods, and the captain is one of the people who if I had a nickel for every time I went into the woods and some mystical person got very mad at me, it would be like 3 nickels? I don't know.
That's a lot of nickels considering what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Is that enough to buy
I
for a
almost
piece of
got
gum
him killed, in
anymore?
all honesty. I almost got that guy killed, but I fixed him.
Right. You and I think we need to have a field trip.
Uh-oh.
So, here's my deal to you. You want to learn more about those books? I can promise you I've got more in this noggin than you will find in those books.
Okay. I mean, really, it's just I'm trying to get a sense of my own ability. It's kind of hard to get a gauge in my current state.
Philip, if there's anything that I am, ever was, ever will be, it's a teacher.
Yay!
So if you're looking to find your own potential, trust me, I'm hoping and praying that you got that potential too.
It's been a while since I've been in school. I hope it's easier than my last time.
And she holds up her wine glass and she says, "Some things will help it make it easier for me too." And she kind of takes a very long sip.
Oh, the Catholics. Anyway,
Excellent. Good stuff. Mars, is there anything that Ren wants to do in this time?
I think Ren is sort of taking a inventory, I guess, on their body, because they used the unicorn blood at the end of the last episode, and are trying to figure out, like, does anything feel weird? Does anything feel different? Miss Merrill was like, this has bad vibes, and they're just trying to, like, assess the vibes, I guess.
So how exactly are you assessing the vibes, and where are you within the ranger station doing so?
I think just sort of in the main room where everyone is, but sort of in a corner. I think they're gonna try and do the move Spirit Touched, but on themselves, if that makes sense.
Tell me what that does.
So Spirit Touched is your experiences have made you sensitive to the supernatural. When you sense magical things, roll plus weird. On a 10+, you can sense them fully. On a 7 to 9, you can choose either sense them fully, but they notice you too, or you sense only impressions.
Fascinating. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and do it.
That's a 7. No, 8.
An 8, which in the mixed success portion says that you get something, but they also notice it too.
Or you sense only impressions. So I think for this one, it makes more sense for them to sense only impressions of, like, the supernatural vibe that they're giving off.
Sure.
Basically.
Yeah. So there is kind of like in literature in and of itself, there's always like really great kind of like descriptions of kind of like irradiated things. There's like maybe heat coming off of them, or like there's a strange energy that kind of like that like just feels different on them in and of itself. I think in the terms of like magic, you understand that magic in different forms is kind of like a series of frequencies, or can be interpreted as series of frequencies. Some run on different ones, some run at certain speeds, other ones have different wavelengths. Like, it's a vast spectrum of magic in and of itself. And what you are feeling from like the areas where you came into contact with the unicorn blood is almost kind of like a dead zone, to where when you are magical, or like when you are kind of like when you are surrounded by frequency or noise, silence stands out to you the most. This is emanating from you as well, and so it's coming in conflict with like just kind of like your normal magical vibe as well. But like the silence is also just kind of like, it just sits there. It's kind of like a weight on your aura, as it were. And as you are noticing this, you hear a dunk 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 on the window. Do you turn to look at it?
I do turn to look, yes.
You turn to look at the window, and you see, peering down like through the top edge of the window, the skull mask of Kernunos daggers at you. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and take our 10-minute break. And we'll be back in 10 minutes. Everyone, thank you for sticking with us so far. We hope that you've enjoyed it. We're going to take a quick 10-minute break. Feel free to get up, walk around, get some water, use the facilities, get a snack if you'd like to join us for our snack check when we get back. Does anybody have anything to add?
I love you.
Yeah, right on. So we'll see you in 10 minutes then. Again, thank you for sticking with us. We are back.
We are back.
We are back. It's okay, Eric. I was the audio. Yeah, there we go. We should be good. Snack Jack. We're jumping back into everything. We hope everyone had a good, nice little break. I'll start first, just because I have notes to look over while everyone else speaks. But I had a small piece of chocolate, of a chocolate bar that was dark masala chai infused, which was very good. So that was my snack for the snack check. Masha, tell us what you're eating so that you can eat while the rest of us talk.
Oh my god. I got sushi lunch today, and part of it was this chashu rice bowl with like chashu pork and then corn and like green onion in little slivers, and I have apparently all of it left over, so I'm gonna be eating that, and it's so good.
Hell yeah.
So good.
I am, of course, eating the crunchy and wholesome popcorn snack. Popcorners.
Chris, we can't do ads on
Yeah, we're
Twitch
not
anymore.
sponsored.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm not putting a logo on screen that's bigger than 30%, and it's not pre-recorded. I think those are the rules.
Who knows?
I'm
I
having
do.
chicken, some baked chicken with Cajun seasoning. So I'm enjoying that pretty good.
Very nice.
I had chocolate ice cream, and now I'm having a chai from like a Trader Joe's chai concentrate, which is very good.
And that concentrate is like absurdly good.
Yeah,
It's so spicy. It's got a lot going for it.
I did not put enough in, so it's like milk with a hint of chai flavor, but it's not too bad.
Nice. What brand was the chocolate ice cream?
Whole Foods brand.
Fascinating. How many of y'all have
My
had...
dad-
Or no, by all means.
My dad and I were like, we were the only ones who were gonna eat dinner at my house because like everyone else was out, and so we were like, let's get sushi, but instead of going to a sushi restaurant because that's expensive, let's just get grocery store sushi. And then it was not cheap, but we got chocolate ice cream there, and that's why we were at Whole Foods. I'm not a regular shopper of Whole Foods.
Fair enough.
Whole Foods is definitely cheaper than it used to be, but like it's still kind of
Yeah.
up there.
How many of y'all have had Bluebell ice cream?
I had it when I went to
I have.
Florida, I think. It comes in like massive tubs, right? Okay.
You can get smaller ones.
Yeah, you
At
can
least
get
around
some
here you
ones,
can.
but there are very big ones.
If you
Chris,
ask
said
very
yes?
nicely, they'll give you one spoonful, and you. I'm lying. I don't even know where I'm taking this bet.
Chris, did you say yes? You have.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mars,
I've had it.
Have you had?
I have
Bluebells?
not.
Okay. Gotta come back down to Texas and we'll rectify
Primo.
that, and we'll get you some of that. Or I'll bring it up the next time we meet up. I'll sneak it onto the plane, or maybe I'll
Can you-
drive. Who knows?
That will go not poorly at all.
If it goes in your checked luggage, it might survive. It gets cold in a plane.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Gotta be creative, you know. Gotta.
Just be like, listen, I need you to keep this cold, but don't look inside of it.
Yes, correct.
TSA loves that.
Just in a pressurized nitrogen can.
Yeah.
Don't open this.
What could go wrong?
It'll be totally okay.
It is safe for the airplane. I promise.
There-
Don't look inside.
There is something about watching media from like the 90s, like pre 9/11, right? Where the way that they portray like airports, and then also like the things that people walk off of planes with, is truly insane to me sometimes. There is an episode of the X-Files where this guy walks off of the plane with an envelope that's supposed to have a piece of radioactive like alien metal, right? And he just walks off the plane with the envelope like outside of his briefcase, and he's just kind of like looking around. And I remember watching it with Sydney, and I was like, What do you mean this man just walked off this plane with this envelope of a strange foreign material and no one
Have you
has
ever
stopped him?
tried, Saul? It's
Listen.
pretty easy.
Here's the real, like, one of the most romantic gestures, like, for some reason in the 90s was like someone running through the airport.
Yes.
Just like stop. You
Stop the
would
person
die.
at the gate.
You would get your neck snapped in half by a
I saw
big
TikTok
burly
recently
TSA
of a
man.
guy just like walking in the airport and he just gets tased for no reason.
Like I've never. I'm saying it here, gamers. I've never been on a plane before. Not one time. I have been in airports in the past, but I've never been on a plane. But even I know better than to do something stupid like that.
Sure. Yeah. It's just fun. You know, the next time you're watching something that's pre 2000, 2001, and there's an airport involved, just
It's weird
think
that
about
it's all before 2001.
yeah, right.
Why do you think that is? What happened in 2001?
Oh my God, no, Dustin, you've forgotten.
Forgot what?
We made a promise, Dustin. A promise.
Dustin, you promised to never forget the year
Alamo.
Shrek released in theaters. No, that was 2002.
Yes, the Alamo happened in
Joker.
2002.
The Alamo? Huh. Gotcha.
You gotta
Listen, I'm not
remember.
from Texas. I don't know when the Alamo happened.
Listen, we're very, very
Toy
adamant
Sto-
about
no,
our history.
Toy Story came out in the
Texas.
80s.
I've always been terrible with years, I think, when it comes to history in general. So I think I could maybe tell you I could tell you more about like what happened at the Alamo and the factions and the factors involved rather than the year itself.
Eric. Don't say that. Don't speak to me in such a way.
Dope. I think we'll go ahead and transition back into the story.
Don't speak to me in
thank you
such a manner.
for-
It was the 90s. I was close. That's a decade.
Thank you for the snack check. For those of you who are watching and would like to participate, we have a snack check channel on our Discord that you're welcome to drop some food on if you have something fun for lunch, or you have get something or you make something really great for dinner or for breakfast or something. Always Bartleby Prime, one of our avid followers, longtime friends, often puts a lot of really, really fucking amazing stuff in there, and it just makes me very hungry almost all the time. So, all right. There's a giant fucking ass centaur on the lawn of this ranger station. I think, Ren, you're the first to see Kernunos, but everyone is quickly apprised to their presence. Figure outside with the trunk, technically still. Cole, you are heading to the car, and you immediately hear Sheriff Lester's feet hit the ground, and like the strap to his pistol kind of like open as he kind of like, his hand goes straight for it. Philip, you are with Miss Merrill, so you would have noticed Kernunos just kind of like materialize out of the woods. He ignores you.
Oh, fuck. Here we go again.
He ignores you and looks into the window where you can see Ren looking up at him.
He's not after me this time.
And so you all become aware of Kernunos' presence, and you hear Miss Merrill just kind of like cough, and she's still sitting in her chair. Her back is to Kernunos, who's like several feet taller than her, especially sitting down, and she's like, "What's that smell? Oh no, I know what that is. Kearney, why don't you make yourself at home? Would you like a glass of wine? I know you've had wine before. You're 100 billion years ago or whatever." And you see Kernunos is not paying attention to Miss Merrill, but is looking at Ren through the mirror, and he is waiting for Ren to do something.
Ren gives a sheepish little wave.
He motions for you to come outside.
Ren does that.
And you see he kind of he his giant figure just kind of like smoothly kind of like canters over to stand in front of you, and he just like is quiet for a moment before he says, "You are no longer welcome here."
In the forest in general, or here specifically?
Within the boundaries of this forest.
I should note that I didn't actually kill a unicorn. I had to use the blood to do a spell, but even if it doesn't change the outcome, it's important to me that you know.
He pauses for a moment and he says, "You have been attainted. For what reasons are your own. But your presence is it is for your safety and the safety of those who live in this forest. You should not be within these grounds."
I will avoid it whenever possible.
Not whenever possible. Always.
I can't promise that.
Then I cannot guarantee your safety.
And you do not have to.
You may find it different.
Miss Merrill mentioned that.
I'm sure the witch did. Miss Merrill giggles. Of course, Miss Merrill's giggles are like a
It's more like a cackle is how I pictured it.
Yeah. Well, I think, Cole, are you still like getting ready to like leave?
Yeah, I almost feel like Colt is almost like just awkwardly standing there, just staring at the two of you as you talk. Like he has his hand on the door handle, and he just kind of froze when Karenina started speaking, and he's just kind of like watching.
I'll go with Cole then, if Cole is leaving. Cole, are you leaving?
Yep,
Okay. I'll go with Cole then.
gotta go to town.
You see kind of like a very small, like nearly imperceptible nod from Kernunos, before he turns his attention to Philip. And
Philip quickly is like, "Oh fuck," and hides behind Miss Merrill.
Phil's like, I'm leaving too, and just jumps in the car.
I'm leaving. T-poses to fly straight into the sun.
Praise the sun.
for some reason, to me, like my mind just immediately was like animated in Minecraft.
Yeah.
You see Kernunos, he's staring at you, Philip, but he's also kind of like staring through Miss Merrill to stare at you. And he says, Philip has failed to choose between us and those who live outside these borders. And Miss Merrill kind of like rocks back and forth, wine glass in her hand, and she says, "Okay." And Carnuno's just kind of like, again, very imposing, kind of stares, and he says, "Philip will not be allowed to return to the Fogwell It's too dangerous and he is too volatile. And Miss Muriel just rocks back and forth, wine glass in hand, and she's like, "You sure about that?" And Carnunos kind of like takes a step forward and he says, "Do not test me. We have been amicable in the past. I do not want that to change. But the safety of this forest lies with me." And Miss Marilyn just kind of like continues rocking back and forth. And you see when he steps forward, she kind of like cocks an eyebrow and she kind of like shuffles up and she rises from her chair and she puts down the wine glass and grabs her chain and kind of shuffles a little bit forward. You know, Miss Merrill stands at like maybe at most like 5'6", 5'7", and that's if she can, you know, straighten her back, which is hunched most of the time. And Carnudo stands at definitely over 7 feet tall. And is just huge in a lot of different ways. And so she stands and she's like not really looking up at him. She's kind of like staring at his navel essentially. And she's like, and she says, "I think there's something that you just don't understand, Kearney. You're so focused on this forest. You don't understand that there is a balance that has to be kept both within and without." And Carnuno's kind of like, his head cocks to the side and you see he scoffs for a moment and he says, "Balance. A human speaking to me about balance. You who choke the air with your machines, who pollute the waters that flow through the streams. You who have ravaged this earth and pushed my people, my home, to the farthest edges of the unknown and the dying. Balance. Humorous, though not uncommon from you." And she kind of like, you see, she kind of like, she also kind of like laughs and she shuffles a little bit forward and she's like, "Come here." And he kind of like pauses, cocks his head again to the side, and she says, "I need you to bend down, okay? I'm an old woman and you have abs like they're chiseled from marble. You can bend down and come down to me, okay? Come down." And you see there's a momentary pause before Carnunos kind of like bends his body down and like essentially gets like, you know, a little bit closer to Miss Merrill. And you see she shuffles up her cane and whaps him in the face. And there's a resounding like crack as the cane smacks into the skull mask that he wears on his face. And he kind of like recoils and like holds his hands up and he's like, "You dare?" And she's like, "Yes, of course I dare. What do you think is going to happen when that mountain blows? What do you think is going to happen when all those people outside are rage-filled and they're no longer tearing each other apart? Where do you think they're going to turn? Okay? Sure, you've got some pretty heavy hitters in this forest. You could probably withstand a couple. You'll probably do it, so on and so forth. We don't know how far that's going to go. You think your people are going to be safe? I'm thinking about my people too. Okay, Carnunos? You want your safety within your forest. I want safety out there. And for that, God help us. We need him." And she points to Philip. "Maybe. That's our best guess right now, okay?
It's nice to be wanted.
Rookie of the year, okay?"
And do I get a t-shirt?
And she says, "I need to take him to the Fogwell. It's the only place where he'll be able to focus. We'll learn more." And there's a very pregnant pause before Carnunos kind of like straightens and turns. And as he walks back into the forest, he says, "On your head be it." And he dissolves into the darkness of the forest.
I think that Cole finally starts moving again, he looks back and forth between everyone and then just flips the forest off and says, "A cab," and then gets in the car.
In the car as well.
Ren gets in the car. Okay. I can change glasses now, but no, probably.
Don't do it.
Oh God.
I said I warned you.
That's okay. Okay, so y'all are Fig. Were you still wanting to build the snare during this time? We could say that you could have been doing it in this time, or do you want to try and go into town with Cole and Ren, or what's the plan here? What do you want to do?
Just love the visual of like Cornunos being a grumpy little forest cop, and then Fig like hunched over a woodman's corpse, like gently making a little snare. I think I'd want to try it. Like, I'd be curious to see how it would make.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. So you do roll for it, right?
I do. I roll plus sharp.
Cool.
Which means I have the possibility to fail. Not today, though. That's a 9 on my dice, plus my 3 sharp is a 12 total.
Very nice.
How many so I hold 2. What's up?
Yeah, that you hold 2?
I hold 2, yeah. On a 10 plus, I hold 2. On a 7 to 9, I hold 1. And then I can choose a base. I think like I said, I'm going to do a trap, which is 2 harm, restraining, 1 use, and triggered. And then I'm going to add tags based on the creature. I mean, I think that the tags don't necessarily have to be like beneficial. I think that flammable would probably be one. It sure is wood.
Sure is.
And then let me know what you think of this. So in my mystery, he kind of had the capacity to like regrow and grow rapidly. How would you feel about it being like ensnaring in the way that once it traps someone, it kind of like grows around them a little bit and makes it harder to get out of the restraint? And that would be like not like an additional harm or anything, but like it's not just, oh, you just loosen it and you can get out. It's like, oh, it is now like wrapped around you and really tight and you're like trapped.
I do like that. Is that not just a restraining tag?
I mean, I imagine the restraining tag is like, it just closes on you, you know? I don't know.
We can also save this last one. Like, it could be, like, we could try and come up with something now, or we could think of it later and add on to it as well. That's okay with me. Like, it doesn't have to be right now, but it is up to you. Yeah.
Encasing it. They turn into a tree man.
That would be a little overpowered.
Don't do that. That would be bad for us because they would turn into a tree man and then try to kill us as a tree man. And it took a van to stop the last one.
It's true.
Don't.
Reminds me of that Buffy episode where they're like, we can't kill this demon, and then they just pull out the rocket launcher.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's what you'll
love
is
that.
A rocket launcher. I haven't forgotten about Cole's Molotov cocktail.
Couldn't.
Could never.
Do Molotov cocktails expire? We need to research.
No.
Not
This
really.
is just an alcohol and rag.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could just take out the rag if you were thirsty. Oh, it's not a rag. It's a torn up if the shoe fits t-shirt. I forgot about it.
Correct. Which, I mean, at this point, if it's been sitting in there, yeah, it's a rag. Okay,
Poor guy.
So then, Fig, you have your snare, and we'll say that you kind of like put it in your bag of holding, did you decide? Did you want to stay here? Did you want to go with Cole and Ren into town, or did you? I know that when we talked, you also wanted to kind of like have a conversation with Miss Merrill, so you could do that now as well if you wanted to.
Like Cole isn't peeling out. Like he's just making it known that he is leaving.
Yeah.
What is he leaving to do?
Nobody
Did I
is
miss that
active.
part?
Correct. Ren just kind of opting because he's going.
Yeah. Cole,
Huh?
what are you headed into town for? Or are
He
you
looks
not
at-
headed to town?
He looks kind of confused by the question, and then he just kind of gestures toward the sheriff in his radio, and he said, "I mean, you've heard it. The police are stretched thin. People are going crazy, and part of it's my fault. So, if the town needs help, the town needs help."
God, Fig does not want to leave Miss Merrill here at this haunted ass ranger station.
Well, you wouldn't be leaving her alone.
Be leaving her with Philip and Sheriff Lester.
Yeah, this is the new A team. The wacky hijinks we'll get up to.
The A stands for ancient.
I'll just keep puking and make Lester go, "What the fuck?"
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Yeah. Beans. What the fuck? The original, right? I don't know. Whatever.
Beans? What the fuck? Wait, what do you mean?
I'll find it later. I can't look for it right now.
When we say "what the fuck," we're referring to ourselves.
I know. That's true.
I'll refer to yourself if you know what I mean.
I don't.
I don't either.
Okay.
I found it.
Okay.
I'm sending it to
Glad.
you guys. You know what? I'm gonna share it in the meme channel in our community server.
Okay.
That means you can see
Oh
it
god,
too.
YouTube is
Chat.
autoplaying. Oh god. Oh fuck.
Okay.
So,
Would Fig stay or would Fig go? Oh man. I
uh,
feel like Fig
Stay
would.
or should Fig go?
No. Fig would go. Fig would join Ren and Cole.
okay. Fig, you'll hear Miss Merrill just kind of like quickly call out your name and gesture you to like quickly kind of come over as she kind of like walks a little bit to the side to kind of like have a quick private word with you.
Mm-hmm.
Fig, you're gonna head into town with Cole.
I mean, I was absolutely no help for this last monster, and I resulted in damage to your store and damage to Cole's van, and that's a lot of loss.
Nah, don't. Hey, one, don't put that on yourself, okay? No one's a monolith, all right? Everyone needs time away, and your friends took care of it, okay? They did, in the end. And if you're worried about the store, okay, it's just four walls. As far as I'm concerned, and you see Ash the Seventh kind of like mules and runs out and kind of like climbs up onto her shoulder. She says, home is more than just a set of four walls. Okay? And she kind of reaches out and she takes your hand and squeezes it reassuringly.
I appreciate it. Is there anything that you want me to grab from there while I'm out?
You all do know
If we have the time.
You all do know that like not everything has been grabbed from the store and like from the location in general. There's still some boxes there that were meant to be picked up later and kind of like brought back. A lot of this week has just been pulling kind of like the essentials and then the second essentials and then kind of like more stuff to just kind of like fill out the ranger station for the sake of like being livable for the time. And so there she kind of like she nods her head and she says Philip wasn't wrong when he said that there's definitely probably some stuff in the cellar that could help in this specific situation. Now that doesn't mean you have to go, okay? I don't want to pull y'all away from actually helping people. If you get the chance, you know, just know that there's some dangerous stuff in the cellar. Just be careful, okay? Full transparency. You know, I haven't really had the time these past couple of days to call my guy, get the contractor set up, all that kind of stuff. So just if you're around the square and you see, hoodlums graffitiing the walls or the boards, spook them off, all right? I just, I want to make sure that the place stays okay, all right?
Right.
I appreciate
And you'll be all right out here.
Oh, well, I am going off into a mystical glen with Philip. But I am hoping, and she kind of she pauses for a moment, and it almost sees like she kind of like cocks her ear to the side, and she says, I have, I wouldn't call them a friend, and really, they're not particularly an acquaintance, but they will help, I hope. So it won't just be me and Philip.
All right.
Yeah. But thank you for worrying. It's sweet. All right.
All right.
You take care of yourself out there, okay?
You don't have to worry about me. I'll be fine.
You say that, and I still do. And she kind of pats your arm, and she takes her cane and she whaps Philip on the back.
Oh, my very fragile spine.
Right. So you and I are gonna take a walk, and you're not gonna deviate. You're not gonna hold my hand, but you're gonna stay right beside me the whole time.
Oh, I feel we could hold hands.
Hands behind your back, following the line leader. Okay?
Not even a little bit of like a conga line.
No.
Can we play? I was going to say I Spy. And I'm sorry about that.
Miss Merrill says nothing, and she just does a right turn and begins using her cane to walk into the forest.
I feel like we're off to a good start. She's so kind.
As you hover behind her.
Yes. Well, no, she said walk, so Philip's wobbling behind.
Okay, fair enough. Dope. So the three of y'all are getting into the lemon and going into town. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I think as y'all are kind of setting up, you see Sheriff Lester kind of nods and he says, I guess I'll head out too. And he goes into the truck and he pulls out he'll pull out one walkie-talkie and he'll hand it over to Cole and he'll say, I'm on channel 7, everyone else is on channel 5, so you just let me know if there's anything.
Sure. He'll take it and turn to channel 6.
Okay.
I'm Valor 6. I
know. But he'll kind of he'll adjust his to 6 as well so that y'all can communicate. And he'll get in his pickup truck and peel off. Y'all head into town. All right. Dustin, tell me, are you going anywhere in specific, or are you listening to the chatter? What's the plan as you go into
I think he does change it back over to channel 5 and kind of listen and see where things are. All things equal, Miss Merrill's shop is probably a good place to start. Just a good central point of origin, basically.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, as y'all kind of drive into town, it's very much a different place than we saw at the beginning of season 2. There's barely any people out on the streets anymore. It's quiet. with the exception of like loud, like scenarios happening kind of like in the background, just like chaos. There's like, you see like, there's a very thin plume of smoke coming from a suburb. Every once in a while you see like a car peeling out from somewhere. There are some cars that you can see are like, there are children packed into them, and they are sitting in front of like moving vans, and like the parents are kind of like nervously looking at all sides, as other people are like quickly shuffling things into the vans and things of that nature. It is very unsettling in a lot of different ways. As you are kind of like heading towards the square to Miss Merrill's shop, you see that there is a figure kind of like walking down the sidewalk, very like scrawny, kind of like, you see that and they have like long hair that's been kind of like pulled up into a messy bun, and they've got kind of like the baggy pants and kind of like a baggy shirt and things of that nature. And you see it is Boromir Stevens, and he's just kind of like walking, and he's kind of like somewhat like glancing over his shoulders and things of that nature, and as he kind of like walks and is making his way kind of in the same direction that y'all are driving.
Boromir?
He kind of quickly looks up and clocks y'all in the car. Oh, hey Cole, how's it going, my guy? Good to see you.
You okay?
You see, he was always kind of skinny in general, but like he looks just like a little more haggard than normal. His hair is a little messier than the normal tussle that it is, and there's kind of like some deep bags underneath his eyes, and he's just kind of like, he's like, the vibes are off, man, if we're being honest. Amir left me, and my dad's gone since the co-op burn, and I'm kind of having a rough time of it, not gonna lie. But it's okay. I kind of got a hotel, and we're kind of working through it. Just never thought I'd find myself here, and it's kind of hard. Yeah, and you see he kind of like pauses and like kind of starts crying a little bit here on the sidewalk, talking to y'all from the distance, and he's like, and he kind of like wipes it away. He's like, I'm sorry, man, it's been really hard. It's just been hard, how are you doing?
Well, the accident happened, and
Oh shit, yeah, I heard about that. Are you okay? And kind of like stares at you like in the driver's wheel again.
yeah, wear your seatbelt. It does wonders.
Sure, yeah, man, seatbelts save lives.
Yeah.
He kind of like shuffles his feet a little bit.
Question for the keeper:
Yeah.
did we ever establish where your character was at the moment?
Yes, he's at the ranger station.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he just hung out.
He was in one of the rooms upstairs, like heavily bandaged and like bedridden.
Oh.
Okay. Sorry.
Understandable.
I might have
did
missed
set
that
him on
part. My
fire.
apologies.
Technically, he's he's totally by himself inside this ranger station in the woods now, because everyone left.
No, that's not true.
He'll get over it.
The tree man is there with him.
That is
Yes,
the
the
corpse
of
tree
the
man.
tree-
Correct.
man.
The corpse of the tree man is there with him.
It's fine.
He's
Don't worry.
He's in the bed with like his arm bandaged up, and the water's just a little too far away from him, and he's like, "Hello."
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Philip would have grabbed him and flown him around.
Probably would have begged him not to.
No, yeah, but yeah, that's where Arthur is.
Okay. Okay. Uh,
Cut back, broken man.
yeah. Okay. Now back to this sad man on the sidewalk, and it's not me this time.
A lot of sad men
Um,
this season.
Kind of hard. Every season, there's got to be a sad man there.
I'm sorry to hear everything you've been going through.
Yeah, man. I mean, I guess like, yeah, there's like some stuff to be happy about. Like, it's really great that Miss Merrill already has like people fixing up their place. That's really nice.
Huh?
And he kind of like points, and you see that outside Miss Merrill's shop there's like a construction crew, and there's people like going in and out, and they're like pulling boxes out and kind of like taking stuff in.
Wow, I didn't think that she'd get someone that fast.
Yeah, it's really surprising.
No, she didn't. I just
Huh?
spoke to her. She said that she hasn't had a chance to talk to her guy yet.
Cole's eyes slowly narrow.
I don't. Cole? And he kind of like, as Cole's attention is kind of like pulled away, he's just kind of like waving.
Cole slowly reaches to put the car into like drive to like start revving up toward the construction guys, but he's not going to do that. let's just
Take
smash
'em all
another
out.
vehicle into it now.
GTA style.
Yeah, we need to go check that out.
Can I come?
He kind of looks at Boromir and then the other two, and then back to Boromir, and then back to the other two. And each time he looks back to the other two, he's looking like more and more distraught about thinking about the choice here. Yeah. Sure, Boromir, but you gotta play it cool, okay?
Sure. I'm the picture of cool, my guy.
Yeah.
Thank you. And he kind of like rushes over to the car and like gets into the back seat with whoever's back
Yeah,
there.
sure. Okay.
We'll say Ren's back there.
He kind of looks between them and he's just like, okay, so here's the plan. You and I, Boromir, are going to scope the place out while Fig and Rin head inside to check it out close at hand. Does that sound good to everybody? Good plan?
Sounds good to me.
Sure, my guy.
Okay. And Cole just gives them a knowing look of let's not let him find whatever's inside that shop.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so how are y'all kind of like approaching this?
I think that Cole and Boromir are going to stay in the car for right now.
Okay. And Figure Ren, y'all are getting out?
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Before we kind of get there, I want to set up this scene with Philip at the Fogwell as well, so that we can set up for the next session. Philip, after some time and walking through the woods with Miss Merrill and very, very witty and clever small talk happening between the two of you, almost
So
like,
what do you dream about?
Can you see your dreams?
I dream about sunrises I used to see.
Oh Jesus, that's deep. I don't dream personally myself.
Yeah, well, that must be nice.
Well, it's sort of the waking agony of forever being awake and never getting a moment's rest. It's like forever your heart is going at 100 miles per hour and you can't get it to slow down.
My doctor gave me some pills for that.
I don't know if I can do drugs.
That's a shame. It doesn't take very long, and it does seem like Miss Merrill, albeit being blind, knows the way by heart, right? And so y'all, with very little obstruction in time, y'all make it back to that specific glen, to that specific little opening where the Fogwell sits, perfectly placid, fog in the air, and you see that the captain is there. Not surprisingly enough. He is somewhat in a different, or he has some different kind of stuff on him. He still has his spear. For some reason or another, strapped to his back, he has a full-sized anchor that you'd see like on the edge of like a huge ass ship. It's like strapped to his upper body, and he kind of like, as he sees the two of you, he undoes a knot and just like slams it down. It slams down onto the ground, and he holds onto the top of it, and he kind of like gives like a perceiving eye to Miss Merrill and says, "Your guest is here, and I hate them." And Miss Merrill just kind of like continues moving with her cane, and she says, "I knew you would, but I need them. And you know why we're here, so I don't expect you to cause any trouble, okay?" And you see the captain kind of like, a vein pops in his head of like, I've dealt with this woman for many years of my life, and to this day she still vexes me, kind of vein. And he kind of just grunts, and you see he kind of like pulls grabs the loop at the top of the anchor and kind of like shifts it, and is able to somewhat like move it off to the side. His giant silhouette moving to the side, you see that there is a figure waiting, kind of sitting cross-legged on the grass. They are wearing a deep purple robe with a gold chain on it. And all you see is like two pinpricks of like reflective eyes within the deep hood. It is not a shadow wizard, as you may think.
Damn it.
Instead, the hood falls back, the chain falls to the ground, and you see a raccoon sitting on the grass in front of you. And he says, "Well, friends, it's about time." And you see the Atticus Campbell back again, ready to help with this very, very fun little situation in general.
That's it. That's the session, right? Like that's what are we doing? Like we can't top that.
That's the season. So
That's
long,
the
folks.
season.
See
It's
you
over.
later.
With that in mind, we will now jump back to the square. How are y'all, like, what's the plan here? Like, so Cole and Boromir are staying in the car. Ren and Fig, what are you all doing? Are you approaching these construction workers? Or are you attempting to go like a different way in, or like what's the word here?
think-
I don't think that. Go for it, Mars.
I think Ren is kind of approaching this construction worker like, just gonna walk up to them and say, "Hey."
You see that they're wearing like the really big kind of like head, like those orange giant headphones that you'd use if you're using like a jackhammer and stuff like that. And they kind of like look at you and they pull the right one off and they're like, "Yeah."
Who sent you here? Why are we haven't called anyone to fix this place yet?
Listen, we just get the call and we come and we start working. If you want to like figure like if you sorry, who are you?
I'm friends of with the shop owner.
Oh, okay. Well, you could talk to the foreman. He's inside. He's kind of scoping the place out before we start, doing stuff. So if you want to talk to him, he's inside.
All right. Yeah, I'll do that. Thanks.
Fig, are you following, or were you with Ren in this interaction, or?
I'm going in for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the two of you kind of head inside, and you see there's these individuals. It seems like they're mostly clearing a lot of the debris that was like in the first floor, and so you see there's like several teams of like 3 men, kind of like putting stuff inside of crates and things of that nature, and like hefting them up and carrying them outside, bringing in more crates, and kind of like scooping all this kind of stuff in, this kind of stuff up and stuff like that. They all kind of like look up at the two of you as you kind of like come inside. They don't say anything unless you speak to them.
Hey, I'm friends with the owner, and she says she hasn't had time to call anyone yet. Who sent you guys here?
Another one kind of like moves their headphones, and they're like, someone called the foreman. So the foreman picked this up, and we came over here.
Do you know who called the foreman?
They don't pay me enough to know. If you want to talk to him, he's in the cellar.
Go into the cellar, baby.
Go into the cellar.
Okay. So yeah, like they don't stop you. You know, they're just kind of they're in there. The both of you kind of like go down. Yeah, it does. Like there's like 2 flights of stairs that go down. Like you go through the doorway, right? The doorway has either you go upstairs to the apartments above or downstairs to the cellar below, right? And so you take the stairs down, and you kind of step in, and it gets darker, right? And the light's not on down here, so immediately you kind of get odd vibes.
Hello?
You call out.
Yeah.
You hear the sound of glass shattering.
Ren is running downstairs. And flicking on the lights, when they pass the light switch.
Okay. The lights within the cellar. It's a what the fuck is that called?
Pole.
Lantern.
String.
Yeah, like it's a string
Something.
in the middle of the room that is attached to the light in the middle of the room. So you have to pull the string. That's what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. Fig, are you following? Are you staying on the stairs?
Excuse me. No, I'm following 100%. I think I have my weapon drawn at this point too.
Okay. So Ren, you run in. Fig, you follow. You click the light. You look around the room and you see the cellar's intact. The only where the glass came from was a small kind of like window that Miss Merrill had in the cellar. You can see is shattered, and there's like streaks of blood on the glass. There's no glass inside, so you assume someone broke out.
What the fuck?
It's at this moment that I'm going to need y'all both to roll me. Let's do read about a situation.
You got it. You got it. Let me throw my dice at myself. Nice. 12 total.
Nice. Mars? 5.
5. Yep.
Excellent. Go ahead and mark
Ren
experience.
is not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Go ahead and mark experience.
Fig is like, there's some shit going on, and Ren is like, nope.
Ren's
Looks
like,
good
this
to me,
seems
boss.
fine, actually.
Ren, you immediately start looking around for what this person could have possibly stolen from the cellar. Like you're looking for streaks in the dust, all that kind of stuff, right? Fig, you got the whole success. So you've got, I believe it's 3 hold for read a bad situation. Yes.
Yes, it is 3 hold.
What would you like to ask?
What's my biggest threat?
Yeah, great question. You're the window is throwing you off, right? Because it's obviously drawn your attention. The string is still swinging from Ren clicking it. Except there's still a clicking noise. And you look up and you see there is a device attached to the light bulb. And there is a red light blinking. Faster and faster and faster. What are you doing?
Nope.
It's a bomb.
Can I ask what's the best way to protect the victims? The victims being me and Ren, probably.
You need to get out.
Okay. What's my best way out?
So like, again, you're doing this in bullet time. You are processing this information as fast as possible.
See it?
Correct. You know, there is the window right there in the cellar. There is like the glass is still like in shards around it. There's a possibility you could hurt yourself trying to get out. There's also still the stairs. You could still try and run up the stairs and run out the front door of the front part of the store. Those are your two ways out.
I missed the first one because my internet decided to be awful. Were you saying there's like a small window down here?
Yes, there's the window that they broke out of. You could still use that. Yeah.
Considering there are 2 of us, I'm gonna go ahead and say, Ren, I don't know what that is, but we gotta get the fuck out of here right now. And I think I'm going to yep.
I will say, real fast.
Sorry,
Dustin. We're gonna cut right in this moment.
Okay.
We'll realize what's happened here.
Cool. No doubt. Not stressful at all. All right.
Cole, back in the car. You are watching, right? You've watched them kind of go in. A couple minutes have passed. Like maybe a minute or 2 has passed, right? And you watch immediately these construction workers are filing out of the store in a very quick manner. They're not even grabbing the crates. They're jumping into the truck that they jumped into, or that was outside the shop, and they are peeling out. As you watch them kind of like come out of the shop, you see a lot of them are taking off the headphones off of their heads. Some of them turn, and you see little white AirPods in their left ears.
Yeah, I know what I see in their ears. I knew what the headphones were for.
Yeah.
I knew what was coming.
Now, before Cole, what do you do as this information is kind of like given to you, as you process it?
Get incredibly suspicious of the situation.
Yeah.
Because I mean, why are they just suddenly leaving after my friends have gone in? And I think that Cole is going to look to Boromir and say, why are they leaving?
As you turn to look at Boromir, you feel a needle pierce your arm. And you look at him, and Boromir's holding a syringe, and he pushes it inward, and he says, I'm really sorry, my dude. And you feel your body begin to go numb.
Boromir, what are you?
And now we will cut back to the cellar. And Fig, you were on your way out of that window, correct?
Whatever you just said, I completely didn't hear.
No, you're
good. You could repeat it.
If I remember correctly, you were heading out of the window in the cellar.
No, I'm trying to go back up.
Oh, back up the stairs
because
gotcha.
I think I'm trying to like grab Ren and bring them with me.
Gotcha.
Just like, we have to get out of here. I think up the stairs is the way that we are least likely to get hurt.
As you make your way, or as you get to the foot of the stairs, something at the window actually catches your attention.
Okay. Uh-oh. What is
Guys, this way.
it? Shit, alright. And I'm just gonna fucking 180 and go towards the window instead.
Oh, we have to get you out of there now. And Cole is there, like reaching out a hand, like he's using the butt of his axe to clean the shards up, like to kind of make it safer to climb through.
Yeah, and I think that, like, without even thinking, Fig is going to, like, get down on one knee and, like, start, like, pushing Ren so they can use her knee as, like, a launch point up to the window.
I think.
And
Yep.
Or Cole, you're doing something else as well.
I was just gonna say he's
Gonna be
up there helping.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and ask both Ren and Fig to roll me act under pressure to get out of here.
Do I get a +1 forward from read a bad situation since I am technically acting on my...
I will say yes.
Yay! Oh, okay.
I got
That
a
is a
10.
9 total.
A 9 total.
Yes, I got a 7 on my roll, +1 cool, +1 from the read a bad situation.
And then, sorry, Mars, what did you roll?
10.
10? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so Fig, you prop Ren up, and Ren, you're able to kind of like scramble through the window with the help of Cole. On a mixed success with act under pressure, there is a worse outcome, hard choice, or a price to pay. And the as Ren is scrambling out of the window, you hear the clicking sound begin to reach its peak. So Fig. Oh wait, you rolled a 9, right?
I did, yeah.
Does
9
someone want to
total.
roll help out by chance?
I can try.
Mars, I'll also allow you to do it since you're also out
Actually,
of the window
it
as
would
well.
make sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
you do it.
Uh-oh.
Okay, well,
Don't
don't
say that.
do that.
I have to say that.
Oh my god.
Because that's a 6.
Straight up, like after everything, it's a 6.
Yeah, I rolled a 4 and I have +2 cool.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Well,
So
someone needs to help Ren out.
Mark experience. Cool.
My girlfriend got me these very lovely
Hold on, I
custom
gotta look
Ren
at the
die, and I
profiles.
keep using them, and I don't think they're working out well, and I feel very bad not using them because they're beautiful, but I think I'm gonna switch my dice.
It's the sad. You're gonna have to haze them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cleanse the dice.
Put them somewhere where they can watch.
On a miss for help
Yeah.
out, you expose yourself to trouble or danger without helping. Okay, I'm gonna kind of rule this a little bit weird, but between Fig's mixed success and your failure, this is what I'm going to say. One of you gets out, and the other goes back in. So it's one of those things where Ren, if you pull Fig out, you have to go back inside the cellar to help them out like they helped you out.
You know the answer to this.
And
Oh no.
Fig, if you like, if Ren is the one who stays out, you're the one who stays in the cellar. So that is the choice that I put between the two of you right now.
We've got the whole jumping in front of a bullet for each other thing going Ren wants to help Fig out.
Okay. I'm gonna take that if we don't got another.
Dude, I mean, I feel like that would make the most sense because Fig is like the person who's still in here. You know, for Ren to like come back inside.
Yeah.
I mean, alternatively, Fig could be like, I can get myself out and like be really proud or whatever and end up like stuck inside, but
Yeah.
I don't know about that. That
This is
doesn't sound...
bad.
Ren,
I
tell
don't
me
think
what.
she would do that.
Tell me what this looks like.
I think Fig is. I don't know for sure, but I think Fig is like shorter than Ren, so I think
Probably.
Fig is having a hard time getting out of the window. Like, she has upper body strength, but she doesn't have enough to pull herself out. And so Ren just goes, "Move, I'll get you out," and jumps back in the window and boosts her up
Okay.
out the window.
Okay. Fig, you watch as Ren goes back inside the cellar and boosts you out. You roll out onto this alleyway with Cole standing over you. What are the two of you doing?
Getting Ren back out.
Okay.
Please, somehow. I mean...
Cole, are you moving in to help Fig?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah,
The two of you reach down.
it's time for
This is a mess.
You.
The two of you reach
What?
down. Your hands stretch out towards this window. Ren, a hand stretches out. There is a flash of white. The two of you feel a searing heat slam into your bodies as you are lifted into the air for 1 breath, 2 breath, before you slam onto the concrete. Each of you is going to take 4 points of harm. And
4?
you're going to continue to feel the searing heat as bits and pieces of rubble and brick slam on the ground around you. Ren, you're going to take 7 points of harm.
Oh,
And
On
then
top of the 4?
Ren will take 7
No,
points of harm.
7 total. I
Okay.
think.
7
I'm
total.
like, what the fuck? You can't just kill him.
Ren is dying.
Yeah, Ren doesn't have armor.
Correct. Oh, you don't have armor?
No,
So that's all of them.
that is
Yeah,
all
you
of
just
them.
Red just died.
Ren just fucking
No.
died.
No, dying does not mean dead. Dying is like narratively... I mean, unless we want to just kill Ren.
Ren does have a move called "I'm Here for a Reason." There's something you are destined to do. Work out the details with the Keeper based on your fate. You cannot die until it comes to pass. If you die in play, then you must spend a luck point. You will then somehow recover or be returned to life. Once your task is done, or you use up all your luck, all bets are off.
Fuck.
Just looking up dying.
I hate looking through this book.
For the time being, because we're gonna.
Why doesn't it just have dying in the index?
Yeah, that's what I was also looking for. For the time being, Fig and Cole, y'all are wounded heavily and dealing with the ringing in your ears from this explosion. As you both kind of like look up and look behind you, Miss Merrill's store is no more. There is just a smoking crater. And in the smoke, you cannot see Ren.
Okay.
So,
8 or more harm will kill a normal human.
okay.
Ren is not a normal human.
and it's also 7, not 8.
Correct. I said 7 because I thought 7 would be enough, but whatever is lethal, that would be the amount. So
Ren takes lethal damage.
correct.
Yeah.
It's also an explosion, like at point blank. So even
Yeah.
if it was just 7 harm, like we're dealing with a lot here. So with that in mind, for the sake of moving forward, that's where we're going to call the session tonight. And we're going to pick back up next week. And let's go ahead and run through end of session questions. I have them right here. So if everyone will just humor me, did we conclude the current mystery?
No.
Definitely
No.
not.
Correct.
No.
Did we,
We have a-
save
we have
someone from
fake
certain
coal.
death or worse?
No.
Ren
No.
experienced certain death.
You could argue that they saved Fig. If you want
Boromir
to.
was
Killed
in
Fig
a bad
straight
place
up
before
would
we
have
found
killed
him.
Fig because Fig is not magical, so
You
Fig would
know.
have just fucking little man would have died. Oh my god, can you imagine?
Well-
Is little man okay?
We'll find out next week.
Oh
Well,
my
no,
God.
because does Fig have less than 7 harm?
Fig took 4 harm, so did Cole.
I
Uh,
took 4 total.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
I'm
if you had
unstable.
taken 7, you would still be okay. It's just if you take 8 harm, you would die.
Correct. The idea is that the wall took a lot of the impact between the two of them, but the cellar was ground zero. Third question: did we learn something new and important about the world?
Not really, in all honesty.
Yeah, I think no is going to be the answer to all of these.
We learned that Miss Merrill calls Kernunos Kearney.
Sure.
That's a whole ordeal that I have to wrap my mind around.
We do know that that Miss Merrill knows Atticus Campbell.
Yeah.
That is true. I will count that. Did we learn
Cool.
something new and important about one of the hunters?
No, I don't think we did.
Not really.
Cool. So that is 2 yeses. So will mark 1 experience.
Cool.
Fun stuff. We are going to leave now to do some after session aftercare as a team. But we appreciate you all very much for hanging out with us tonight. We hope that you enjoyed the mystery. And we hope to see you next week. Please be kind to yourselves. Remember to drink water, unclench your jaws, walk around a little bit. And know that you are loved and that we love you and we hope you have a good night. Say good night, everyone.
Good night,
Good night,
everyone.
everyone.
everyone.